By flying over my head again. This is the entity that's stalking with Jason Isaac Fields. This is not distracting. Jason Isaac Fields is the one with HIV, falsely depicting my character, while he is the one that's engaged in sex rituals with men and women, engaging in sex rituals with the demons of the Ontario Police Department, who are equally invested in what is defaming my character regarding money and property and sex acts that they've committed against me. While they're engaged in what is stalking, that's relevant to psychological torture, doing so with the people of the state under the fake sun. It's currently, by the way, while the Ontario police are not just engaging in flying anywhere, where am I always capturing them stalking while I'm at the Ontario Town Square, where, by the way, you see that clock? This fake sun is over that clock at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. This is where the entity has the fake sun on the side of the same clock. I'm looking at it. Here's my shadow right here. That's not the sun, okay? The entity's flying over my head here. The entity's flying over my head there. The entity's flying over my head at the 415 North Euclid Avenue last night. The entity's flying over my head for 20 minutes, okay? And this is where the fake sun is, at this entrance. Let me show you the same place. This is the OVITT Family Community Library, where the Ontario Police Department are stalking by helicopter when the fake sun is right here, beside the building, over my head. This is, again, the sun set at the same location on the west side of my person at the same address, where A. Casada is a homosexual sex offender monitoring my vagina. She's going to federal prison while that same agency is stalking, and this is the entity that's doing that. It's not a distraction. This is the reality of sex offenders that engage in surveillance of minor children's genitalia in bathrooms. And this is what the demon possessed do when they're engaged in surveillance, and they're triggered by what they're keeping under surveillance. And guess what? The Ontario Police and Mike LORENZ, a sex offender and also a demon, they're being disbanded and they're done with law enforcement, because this is terrorism, and no terrorists, no domestic terrorists are going to continue in law enforcement. And not only that, the kidnappers like A. Casada, they're going to federal prison. Robledo and A. Morris are going to federal prison. Okay, they called an event yesterday under the fake sun that's present, rising at 7 in the morning and setting after 6 o'clock in the evening. They called an event here, a food festival, what is nothing other than criminal summoning. They're gang stalking, just like the Ontario police is proving by flying over my head again. While I'm talking about things that they're very triggered by, that they're engaged in, with sex offenders like Jason Isaac Fields and Tracy Banks, and they all have sex with each other. The one that got in court and perjured my name are the ones that engage in having sex with each other. And you need to test them and find out how many of them have HIV, while they defame my character regarding what is their condition and their sexual promiscuity as demons of a Jezebel spirit. That's the entity that's gang stalking. It's 5:41 p.m. There's no sun that's going to be at one address all day long. And that's a disbanding of the Ontario police. And those are the demons that I'm taking pictures of when they're at the Ontario Town Square walking their dogs with their kids, and they're engaged in what is demonic. They're stalking with the police. And these engaged in what is kidnapping. Let me be clear. June 16, 2022, the fake sun is right here at 10:29 a.m. They engaged in kidnapping that same department that is providing evidence against itself and the people of the state. The demons in that library that committed kidnapping in June of 2022, they're going to prison. And the demons that engaged in kidnapping of the same agency, they're going to federal prison. And they will be subject to what are mental examinations, because you are demented in your mind to engage in stalking someone in that extreme manner, and you are doing so because you are trying to psychologically murder them before you physically take their life. And they're doing so in concert with Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields, and they're both going to federal prison for that. This is P.O.C. It is 5:42 p.m.